and welcome to the annual Appreciation of Beautification Awards. My name is Marcy Post, and I am the staff representative between the City of Midland and the Parks and Recreation Department. The Beautification Advisory Committee is a subcommittee of the Parks and Recreation Commission, and I'm honored to serve with this committee. I ask at this time that you please turn off your cell phones if you have them with you. Please be advised that the presentation is going to be recorded, and I do have copies of the recording schedule on the back of the room if you'd like those before we leave. And if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. My information is also on the back on a business card. Every year, the Beautification Advisory Committee hosts two important programs. The first is the Make Midland Beautiful Art Program. This is a poster contest that we put in all of the Midland Public Schools and parochial schools that are sponsored by the Midland Public Schools. And we have approximately 800 students who make a poster of what makes Midland beautiful to them. That happens every spring, and we're excited to be involved with that program. It's a phenomenal way to see how kids view our city. Now, the next program is the one that you're here for tonight. The Appreciation of Beautification Awards is the largest program that we have, and I cannot impress upon you the number of hours that each committee member takes to go through every zone. We're talking 35 to 45 to maybe even 50 hours to go through that zone. So it is with pleasure that I am so excited that they're here. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Gina Peterson, who is the chair of our committee, to start the award ceremony.
Thanks, Marcy. I would first like to introduce the members of our Beautification Appreciation Committee that are here tonight. Their donation of time is what ensures that every nominated property has been viewed by 9 sets of eyes. Please stand as I call your name. Ann Adam, Abby Clairhout, Carl Coons, sorry, Carl, Rudy Phillips, Judy Radler, Amy Tolton, Nancy Wells. We have another member who's not present tonight, that is Steve Jenkins, and we're honored to have our member emeritus, Betty Toller, here tonight. Thank you for all the work you do. Now we would like to recognize the owners of the properties that received honorable mention in the voting. For residential landscape accomplishments, Richard and Vicki Sipp of 3814 Aspen Way, Kathy Schultz of 4501 Castle Drive, Kay Uma Reddy of 1602 Foxwood Court, Raymond Roach and Amy Shue Appel of 6004 Harwood Drive, Keith and Beverly Bush of 514 Lingle Lane, Anna Murray of 2902 Mount Vernon Drive, Connie Altamore of 2209 Norwood Drive, Richard Jones of 5419 Stone Ridge Drive, Robert and Emily Saberin of 4609 Wild Pine Court. And then for non-residential landscaping or site improvements, the Doré Family Chiropractic at 4606 Isabella Street, and the Midland County Courthouse at 220 West Ellsworth Street. And now I'd like to welcome the Honorable Maureen Donker, Mayor of Midland, to present the awards.
Should I not touch that? Okay, thank you. Well, welcome all of you here this evening, and I too want to say thank you to the committee for all the work that they do. Before running for council, I served on the Beautification Committee, so it really has a very warm spot in my heart, and I know the amount of hours that goes into it, but it's also a lot of fun. And part of what, for me, it did, I grew up here. And I thought I knew Midland really very well, but it really showed me everything that our community has to offer. When you drive every street in this community, you begin to see things that you didn't know were there, and you have a much greater appreciation for the community in which we live. And just a little tidbit, Midland as a city is the 5th largest city by area in the state of Michigan. But I would really like to talk to you about why this award is so important. There was a study that was done by the Knight Foundation, and the Knight Foundation is part of a large newspaper conglomerate. And they did a study on why people begin to develop an attachment to the communities in which they live. And the title of it was Why People Love Where They Live and Why Does It Matter? And they identified 10 attributes that help people connect to the place where they live. And the third on the top of the top 10 was beauty. Now, many communities, I think, have a lot of natural beauty. Certainly, if you're living up in Traverse City and you're on the bay, or if you live in, Denver, Colorado, and you're in the mountains, or if you're someplace on the ocean, there's lots of things there. Other communities, create their own beauty, and I think that's one of the things that we do here in Midland. We understand the importance of that, and we work very hard to make our city beautiful. A few years ago, the delegation from Honda, Japan, which is our sister city, came here to visit. And we gave them a free afternoon, and we thought that they would go shopping because that was one of the things we understood that they really wanted to see. But they said, no, that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted to go around and see our community because it was so beautiful. So this award tonight is to not only recognize the work that you do, but is also, to say thank you for what you do. Because it takes a huge effort like this to make the community, the kind of place that people want to live. I think it's really an economic development tool. If you live in a beautiful community, hopefully you're doing something that you also enjoy during the day, but then you can come home and you live in a place that you say, I'm really proud, that this is where I live. The other thing is I think you encourage others by your efforts to create beauty in their own yards. You motivate people. There might be a little bit of competitiveness, too, that comes out of that. They might say, ooh, well, if they got that award, so could I. So for whatever reason, I think what you do not only makes Midland beautiful, but it encourages others to create beauty also. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, committee, for the work that you put in to all of this. And so what I'd like to do is to really get on with the show now. So I'm going to turn it over to Amy for the first awards.
Thank you, Maureen. Our first award tonight goes to Lewis and Catherine Webster on 4609 Arbor Drive. At one time, their property was mostly a shaded lot with many trees, and they decided they wanted to grow something other than pachysandra, so they removed some trees. And along with the sunshine came a new driveway that directs guests to the front door in a more direct manner. The Websters credit landscape designer Jim Begek with creating a design with formal elements that would transition to the surrounding woods. Jim Kovacevic, their cement contractor, and John Gall, the mason, created unique cement finishes and brick walks. Would Lewis and Catherine come forward to receive their award from Mayor Donker and say a few words?
Well, this is a lovely honor, and we are so surprised that someone did finally find us at the tiny end of our court. And we so appreciate the Beautification Committee for encouraging all of Midlanders to bring their yards up to snuff and make them as lovely as possible. Thank you again.
Thank you.
The property at 709 Cottonwood Street is owned by Kevin McMahon. According to Kevin, summertime sees his house adorned with as many as 13 hanging baskets. He has done extensive landscaping around the house and yard, adding a total of 41 shrubs and 21 flowering shrubs. Rock used as mulch creates a good contrast with the greenery. Kevin laid patio blocks on the side of the house to create a walkway to the backyard. Just as a comment, the backyard, which is not actually counted in the Beautification Award, also has a pond and a pool installed by the owner with more flowering shrubbery. This makes an outstanding contribution to beautifying the neighborhood. Will Mr. Kevin McMahon come forward to receive his award? He's not here this evening. Okay. Our next property is the corner lot at 4108 Dykeman Road, and that's the property of Sue and Bruce Beckett. This was a delight to go and scout because of the landscaping that was done. Now, the corner lot is always a challenge because you can see so much of a lot from the street. The yard is planted with daffodils to grace the spring's arrival and butterfly bushes lighting up the summer with purple and yellow. There's an archway covered with morning glories and hosta circles an old apple tree. Japanese maples, fire bushes, miniature lilacs, and other shrubs add variety within the landscaping. A waterfall with grasses, geraniums, and daisies add to the charm of this property. Tonight, Ivy Meyer is receiving the award for the Becketts. Would she please come forward?
I wasn't planning on a speech, but I'm very happy to accept this in behalf of my daughter and son, Sue and Bruce Beckett. I'm just very happy that they got it, and next summer I'd like you to drive by and see their lovely place. Thank you.
Now, when I was out scouting the different neighborhoods for award voting, this next property was hard to miss because it had a blaze of color on the outlawn, literally lighting up the neighborhood. It made me smile as I drove by, so I had to do not once but twice just to see the full effect. Mr. John Athey is the owner and creator of all this color at 805 Haley Street. He told us that in 1912 the property was tested for dioxin, and that year the whole yard was quite literally removed. So professional landscapers then placed hydrangeas, carpet roses, and ornamental grasses in front of the house. But he couldn't resist, and then he went on to put in daylilies, tulips, globe thistle, weigela, daisies, and yarrow to create a full season of color along with all those zinnias in the outlawn. In 2013, he installed window boxes for a place to add yet more color. And this became a truly notable property in the neighborhood. Will Mr. John Athey come forward to receive his award?
Thank you very much for this award to the committee. It means a lot to me that my hard work gets noticed, and to bringing color to the neighborhood is my goal. So thank you very much.
Our next presenter is Abby Clairhout.
Thanks, Amy. I am going to introduce 301 Longview Street, the property of Kevin and Tammy Church. It brings a smile upon seeing this at the end of the road. The fun-spirited lawn ornamentation balances out the healthy and neatly polished landscape beds. The decorative river rock underfoot definitely adds to the appeal of this ranch house. Please come up to accept your award and say a few words if you'd like, Kevin and Tammy Church.
are so honored to receive this award, and this has been a work in progress for us for 10 years. And if many of you know, Longview subdivision is from the early 50s, and before we were born. And so we bought the house in '87 and have gone through, and there's not one part of the house we haven't remodeled or retouched, and we thank Fisher Contracting for the 10 tons of rock and stone, and maybe my back aching also, but we do enjoy it. We do enjoy feeding the birds, and we try to keep the deer out, but we enjoy a little bit of the country and city life right at the end of the street there with being at the dead end, and it's been a joy living there and being part of the community, and we thank you very much for this honor.
Next, I'd like to introduce 5007 Nurmi Drive, the property of Kathleen Bader. Bountiful hostas, ferns, grasses, and a variety of ground cover and evergreens surround this house, making it an oasis for wildlife. The lush lawn and well-manicured beds made this a clear winner. Please come up and accept your words and say a few words if you'd like, Kathleen Bader. Not here tonight? The next property is 5811 Anna Lane, property of Daniel and Kara Ioka. Nestled amongst this inviting garden is a large collection of boulders that serve perfectly as anchors. Neatly mulched beds housing dwarf conifers, a multitude of perennials, grasses that complement the finely pruned small trees and shrubs in this well-tended yard. Please come up to accept your award, Daniel and Carol Ioko.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight and to be recognized by the Beautification Committee. I had no idea how much time you all spend at bringing this event to the public, but we certainly appreciate it, and I know it's all volunteer time, so congratulations to you folks. But it's a pleasure being here and being recognized. Thank you.
And now I would like to present 5113 Swede Ave, property of Samuel and Kelly Pilong. Nothing slows down traffic more than a large pop of color. Annual flowers line beds of perennials, which include hostas, hydrangeas, and ornamental trees. These staples and a rich green lawn provide the perfect platform for unique flower boxes and pots. Please come up to accept your awards and say a few words if you'd like. Samuel and Kelly Pilong.
There's a quote by Emerson that says, "The earth laughs in flowers," and people who know me know that I definitely like to laugh and I definitely love flowers. When we bought this house, it had been owned by a relocation company for about a year, so it had sat empty and the yard was pretty unhappy and not very well kept. But that didn't seem to stop me. I had plenty of ideas and set to work dreaming up flower beds and different plantings that we could put in to spruce up the yard a little bit. And we really just do it because we enjoy people that walk by on their, walking their dog or coming by on their bikes or running and stop by and talk to us and tell us how much it brightens their day to walk by our yard and kind of brightens their travels. So I would just like to say thanks to the city for nominating us, and thanks to my partner in crime who is the one who executes all my crazy ideas of planting bulbs for the spring in freezing rain in November and packing the car in the spring with greenhouse plants and taking them home and helping us brighten up the neighborhood. Thank you.
And now we can hear from Ann Adam for the next set of awards.
We're going to begin with 2305 Virginia Street, James and Audrey Wesolowski. Are you here? Would you like to come up and receive your award, please? Come on over. We'll look at your house after you talk. Tell us about it if you want to.
Well, I'll try and be brief. I guess it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I think Jim has enjoyed helping me. We've done a lot of changes through the past, since 1961, but maybe one of these days we'll start to slow down. Anyways, we had fun, and we'd like to thank you for honoring us with this Beautification Award. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, one of the nicest things about this house is it's a kitty corner across the street from my best friend, Lynn Case. And Lynn isn't in her home anymore, but I was up on the street the other day just checking it out again like I did in August and September. And guess what? It doesn't look a bit like this picture because they have completely and totally turned it into a fall setting with lots of fall color and a really, really wild Halloween look with lots of ghosts and skeletons and things like that. So I enjoyed going by and getting the second impression because this is just wonderful. We're happy to have had it as a candidate, and thank you for doing such a good job. Okay, we're going on now to 2905 Waldo Avenue, Ernie and Yvonne Root. And first thing we're going to do is going to look at the house because it takes your breath away. It's the reddest contrast that we've had in any of our photos so far. And it's no wonder it got nominated. It really is outstanding. We're very happy to see it, and thank you for doing all that work. And please come up, Ernie and Yvonne Root. Are you here? No, sorry. You missed your big chance. Okay, now we're going to look at 6204 Waldo Avenue, Woodview Pass, Michael and Keena Williams. And I went by there just the other day to see if it looked like that. It doesn't quite look like that. You know, the thing about the garden is it changes every year. From morning in the spring till evening in October, it doesn't look the same. And that's a blessing, because if you get up in the morning and you want a garden, the one thing you have to love is dirt and soil and mud and leaves and bugs and all that other stuff that's out there. So it's fun to have nice changes in the color of your yard. And I noticed today when I was in the back of my place, my begonias are still blooming. The little bed begonias, they're this big, they're red, and they're blooming. It's really nice. Okay, so the thing that I noticed most about this house is that it is surrounded in the front, which is not in the picture, 3 of the largest evergreens you've seen in a long time. They're probably 25 years old or so, and they are spectacular. But if they keep growing, you're not going to be able to see the house. So we'll see if they get 7 years you can be renominated okay, in 7 years, we'll judge again, see if they make the grade and come up as a candidate for the new picture. Anyway, that's the way it goes. And now we're going to move on to the landscaping accomplishments on residential. Oh, I thought you were here. I'm sorry. Michael and Keena Williams. Come, please say something.
Sure. Well, I'd like to thank the committee for recommending this. And Judy, we spent probably an hour talking as she was taking pictures. I was concerned. Somebody was out taking pictures in front of my house. I'm going, what's going on here?
Wonderful coffee.
But one comment about the trees there. The evergreens are my answer to the ash borer. That particular lot has 30 trees on there, which we are trying to treat, but probably a losing battle. And so part of owning properties is staying on top of situations like this. And so it's an ongoing affair with the...
Well, they're beautiful. Kildare obviously taking good care of them.
Yeah, so they probably will overtake the trees that they're coming up under unfortunate circumstances. But again, very much appreciate it. We love living in Midland. We've owned this house. We're the original owners and have been in it for 19 years. It has evolved over that period of time, and it's just a labor of love, being part of the community and expressing that love through our gardening. So thank you again for the recommendation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out. We'll go into landscaping accomplishments, non-residential now. Rudy?
We come now to the non-residential areas. We have 3 awards that we'd like to present. The first one is the Midland Area Community Foundation on 76 Ashman's Circle. This mid-century modern building on Ashman Circle has worked creatively with its limited real estate that they have around the building. Strategically placed 3 large attractive planters complemented with a fountain and some shrubs and stonework. This makes the building really stand out and makes the Ashman Circle contributing to the Ashman Circle itself. Accepting the Appreciation Award is Sharon Morrison. Please come forward. Say something?
Thank you so much. Well, thank you to the committee for all their work, for Marcy for her leadership of the effort. And as a community foundation, this is pretty exciting to receive the award because we're about the community as a whole, and we love everything that makes a great community, which includes beauty, it includes arts, education, youth, you name it. So it's pretty exciting to us to be receiving an award because we want to see this happening, and we love what you do and the way you encourage this to happen in our community. And we want to see everything that can be done to enrich and improve the quality of life in Midland. So we're excited, and really we accept this. We're the community foundation, so it's everyday people like all of us that make the community foundation. So really, in accepting this award, I'm accepting it on behalf of all of you that are in this community and all that you love about Midland. And so we're so excited to be a part of it. And thank you very much for this recognition. Appreciate it.
Our next non-residential is St. Brigid of Kildare Catholic Church and School on 207 Ashman Street. It's clearly evident that much effort and attention has been given to the external appearance of this church. The attractive landscaping is achieved by utilizing a variety of both perennial and annual plants and a unique fence around the school. St. Brigid's, in doing this, is really complementing the downtown Midland area, who is really trying to accommodate Midland in its flowering effort, as you all know. Accepting the award will be Kathy Leigner. And Leichen. Was that pronounced right? Leichen?
Yes, you did it right. Thank you. You gotta like them. Thank you so much. It's my honor to accept this on behalf of St. Brigid. We were pleasantly surprised to receive this award, this recognition. You know, St. Brigid's been part of the Midland community for almost 150 years. And about 8 years ago, we initiated a major initiative that we called Preserve the Past, Embrace the Future. And the major work that was going on under that initiative was to restore the beauty of our church and also to enhance the campus. And part of that enhancement was the addition of a new facility that's used in many downtown events as well. So we're also a proud community member and downtown member. But part of the landscaping accomplishments that you've recognized us for are a culmination of that preserve the past, embrace the future. And so we are happy to be downtown and to fit in with the streetscape, if you will. So thanks again. We're honored to receive this, and I appreciate it.
The last non-residential business that we recognized is the Cvs Pharmacy on 1015 South Saginaw Road. This is our new pharmacy in Midland, located in the midst of a busy intersection and a lot of concrete and blacktop roads around it. However, the store stands out and it's appealing to the eye. They have done a fantastic job in landscaping by adding mostly green grass, colorful flower beds, and complemented by shrubs and trees, and giving it a softer and really a welcoming effect to the customers that come to the pharmacy. Anyway, I don't know if anyone is here from the Cvs Pharmacy to accept this. I have a name here, Gina Robinson, I believe. No one here? So that's it then for me. I'd like to introduce Gina Peterson then for the next topic.
Thanks, Rudy. The next award is for Structural and Site Accomplishments Residential. This house is on 3711 Devonshire Street and belongs to Ben and Carrie Palmer. They started with a foreclosed property 3 years ago and have completely remodeled it into a craftsman-style home. It has 2 covered porches and a concrete driveway and has been completely landscaped. It's a real Cinderella story. Is Carrie here to accept the award? Carrie, please come forward, get your award, and tell us about your property.
My husband wasn't able to be here tonight because he's on a hunting trip, so I was bummed about that because he deserves most of the credit for this. But we just want to thank the committee for this award and thank our neighbors for nominating us. It's a real honor. And we love Midland, we love our neighborhood, and we're just excited. We're not done yet, but we're going to keep on going. So thank you.
Our final award tonight is a special recognition award. This property at 4417 Sweet Avenue belongs to Richard and Janice Bradley. It is a corner lot on Sweet and Plymouth, and it's been the recipient of 2 previous beautification awards in 1996 and in 2006. There are 2 levels of landscaped gardens with striking trees, shrubs, perennials, and annuals. Interesting fencing and rock work highlight the design. Even just passing by when you go down Swede Road, no matter what the season, it draws the eye to the house. I drove that way to work for 25 years. And for most of that, it's been beautiful. And every year I looked at it and said, oh my. Janice and Richard, come up and tell us about your garden and receive your award.
And look at their normal.
I would like to thank the committee for the recognition. I want you all, though, to know that we really do this for us. We love our garden, we love our house. We got our first award when we were only beginning, so I guarantee you, young lady, you will be back here again. Because we weren't done either. And the next time they said, well, you finished off the side yard, so that's why we brought you back and give you the next award. Well, I didn't really figure we should get it again, but I really thank the community for their recognition and for all the work Betty and the committee have done over the years to make Midland beautiful. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, that's our awards. Thank you for coming tonight, and thank you all for your beautification efforts. That's why we have these award ceremonies, and it's really a lot of fun for us. We are excited to announce, however, that something else exciting is going to happen next year. Midland is going to host the America in Bloom Judges in the summer of 2016, coming up. Stay tuned for more information about how you can participate in this program and some special beautification contests that we are planning for 2016. This is a prestigious award, and we're really happy to be bringing them here to tell us what we've done right, what we've done wrong, what we need to do more of. Thanks for coming.